I know I talked your head off through voice chats and all that stuff when I was debating on, can I do this? Should I do this? The investment, or am I sure I'm going to make my money back? And, all the doubt that kind of creeps in. Can I juggle this with 3 kids? Like, I'm the kind of person, when I take on something, like, I give everything I have to it. So I want to make sure that it's something that I'm capable of doing. But then my company was threatening layoffs, and they dissolved my whole department at work that I put 7 years into building, was just gone. So that is what pushed me. And I was like, you know what? I'm so sick of working for someone else's benefit. And then as soon as the numbers don't line up on their side, they just drop me. Like, I turned down chances to go do things with my children, school events, stuff like that, because I was so dedicated to my job. For them to not even truly know my name when they go to let you go. So that was like, you know what? I'm done. Like, they told me that in May of 2024 that our whole department's gone. And then I messaged you and I was like, let's do this thing, because I have to take control of my own future and follow my passion, because if I don't now, I'm never going to do it. And I do not regret it at all. So I had to have that push to make me do it.
Makes total sense. And I have chills because it's so relatable. And even if nobody's ever been, or even if whoever is listening has never been in that exact situation with layoffs and things like that, it's still just like giving every ounce of your energy, your talent, and everything to a company that really, at the end of the day, doesn't care. And even the ones that do, because
Mhm.
there are great companies, even the ones
Yes,
that
there are.
do,
Hmm.
you're still working so hard for somebody else's
Someone
bottom
else.
line. And in what we do, and this is like one of the best things of what we do, but in what we do, the overhead is so low that
Mhm.
like our profit is our profit for the most part. Obviously, we have to pay taxes and there's
Right.
that. But in outside of that, the overhead is so low that it can be transformational in such a small amount of time every week.
Absolutely. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
couple clients can completely take over and go beyond what my normal paycheck is. So,
Yeah. It's
yeah, it's
amazing.
huge. It's huge. So when they told me, of course they pulled their mess again saying, oh, more layoffs are coming. And then they told us there's a return to office because I work remotely. And they were like, oh, well, you're going to have to return to office. Well, that doesn't really work for most mothers out there. When you work from home, you're used to having your groove, and you're there for your kids and you have to line up childcare and stuff. So when they're threatening that you have to come back into office within a certain time frame, that's very scary. I
Mhm.
finally looked at my husband and I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not happening. And he was like, well, go for it. I've been telling you to quit forever. And I'm like, well, I got to make sure I'm ready for it. He would have signed up day one to be a sleep consultant like that. He just makes that decision. And I'm like, I have to go back and forth and twist and turn.
So
But yeah,
funny.
so
I'm more
I
like
didn't have
him.
that fear. Yeah. So people like me probably get on your nerves.
Well, I understand it because my husband's that way. I understand it and I get it. It's a big decision and it's not always a good thing for sure. Like I tend to just make decisions really
Yeah.
quickly,
I got to
especially if
reel
it
him
feels
in
right.
sometimes, bring
Yeah.
him back down to earth and let's think for a second before we make a drastic
Yeah.
decision. But it was nice to be like, you know what? I don't have to do that. I'm not controlled by them. They can't force me to go work 40, miles away from my home and now I have to commute all this time. And I'm able to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I can just leave that behind if that's the case, and I will just move forward with the business that I've already built that can only imagine if I was able to give all my 40 hours that I've been dedicating to another company to this. Oh my Lord, I could not
Yeah.
imagine what it's going to look like.
Super exciting.